Hello everyone. In today's class we will see two programs which is solved using switch statement. So I assume you have already attended the previous two sessions. The second session previous to this was about branching statements. I had explained in detail about if else statement and switch statement. Different versions of if else statement was explained with examples, and how switch statement works and which all types of expressions you can use in that and which you can't be used, all that I have explained in the class. And in the previous class I have explained one program which I have solved using if else statement. So the program was to determine whether a given date is valid or invalid, and I had given two versions of the same program, and I've explained in detail step by step, including the thought process, how you have to think, how you have to plan, create an outline for the program, and then you have to start writing the code, and then how to make sure that your brackets, everything is properly aligned. All that is explained in the previous class in detail. So if you have not yet seen the previous classes, then I will post the link to those classes in the description. Make sure you see all those things for you to get complete understanding of the concepts. Okay, so in this class, as I told you, we will be solving two programs under using switch statement. So the first one that we will be doing is to simulate basic calculation, like only like 4 calculations we are going to do, 4 or 5 calculations also we can try. That is why I am doing these two programs is, in one of them we will be using numeric constants in the switch cases, and in other program we will be using character constants. Okay, so only these two type of constants, integer constants and character constants, can be used in switch case. Other types of expressions and other types of variables cannot be used. So for both the things I am going to give one example in this class. Okay, right. In case you haven't joined our social media channels, I have mentioned the links to them in the description. So make sure you join our Instagram profile and the Telegram channel, very importantly, and also the WhatsApp group. If you are not at part of any of our programming WhatsApp groups, then you join it. Now the first program that we are going to see is to simulate program to simulate simple calculator. Okay, program to simulate simple calculator. Basically you're going to have only basic addition, subtraction and all that, not too much of operations. When I say calculator, don't expect it to your compare it to your calculator. Okay, it's going to be a simple one wherein you are going to choose, you're going to give a simple expression. You can't give very lengthy expression. Just two operands and one operator is what you're going to give, and accordingly the compiler is going to perform the respective operation. Okay, right. Now we will start writing the program, but before that, as I told you, we will always create an outline for the program. Here also I'll give you two ways of giving input. In the previous class I have told you, when we want to give an input in the form of date itself, scanf statement has to be written accordingly. Instead of that, you can also give like this. Say you can ask the user to enter date. Okay, ask the user to enter date. Once the user enters date, store it in a variable called D. Now again ask the user to enter month. Okay, enter month. Now whatever the user enters, write another scanf statement, and you are going to enter a month, and that is stored in the variable M. See, like this also you can accept input, but what we did in the previous class was not this. So what we did in the previous class is, we asked the user to enter date in DDMMYY format. Okay, enter date in this format is what we gave, and we read, that is we accepted the input also in the same way, %d slash %d slash %d and ampersand d ampersand m ampersand y. So the user is going to give input also in a specific format. So you have to mention this input format just to make sure that the user should not enter date like this. Okay, user should not enter date like this. If this type of date is entered, then the input will not be accepted at all. Further program execution will not even happen. Here itself it will get terminated because the first integer is stored in D. Say next it is expecting a slash wherein you have given a hyphen. So it will be terminated there itself. But if you want in this format also, you have to give that here. Give that here. Enter date in this format and use that here. Make sure you're giving a proper instruction to the user what format of input is expected, and then it's responsibility of the user to give the input in expected format. If he gives a wrong input format, it is their problem and they're not going to get the output properly. Okay, so that is preferred method. Giving like this is preferred method rather than taking the input separately, asking the user to enter date, okay, now enter month, now enter year. Instead of that, this is a more preferred format. Okay, so similarly for our simulation of this calculator program, what we do is we will ask the user to enter an expression itself. In the expression, the first one is going to be an int value, int or float value, and the third one is also going to be an int or float value, and the second input whatever the user enters, that is going to be stored as the character input. Okay, so first what are the things that we need is again here I'm not going to write the detailed program, I'll just write the outline here and we will type the program and execute in dev C++. Okay, now what all things we require is we need two operands, that is op1, op2 and the operator. Okay, it is like a plus b. We will not use variables, we will use values like 3 plus 5, or we will take 4/2, or we can have 9*3, something like this. Okay, so this is going to be stored in operator 1 variable, this is going to be stored in operator 2, or we can even take it as, well, let's take it as ab. Okay, and this is going to be a character variable which is stored here. So here you can have int or float, as per your wish you take it. If you take both float, only advantage is you will get a proper answer when you are doing division. If you take both as int, maybe you might not get proper answer, or even you can convert it to float and you can get it done. So I am going to take it as int. Only for division I am going to do explicit conversion, which is also called as typecasting. If you don't know what is typecasting, that is explained I think in the second class, which is data types and variables. In that I have explained typecasting. So it is very important question for whether you are an university student or whether you are attending placements. Knowing about typecasting, data conversion is very important. Make sure you understand that by watching that video. And here I will do typecasting to get the proper output. So I am going to take two integer variables a and b and one character variable which is your operator. Okay, so I am going to have three variables. Then I will use a switch statement. In this switch statement, I am going to use this character variable. Okay, so here I am going to use this OPR, that is the operator. Based on what is the operator, I have to perform different mathematical operations. Now here I have to write case, right? Case, and this is a character constant. So I have told you in previous class very clearly, if it is a character constant, enclose within single quotes. If it is a numeric constant, no need to enclose within single quotes. Okay, so now since it is a character constant, you have to enclose it within single quotes. So what all operators are you going to give? We are going to give plus, minus, slash, star, and maybe modulus also. We are not going to give any other operators because these are the arithmetic operators and we are doing arithmetic operation here basically. Okay, so if it is case plus, means if the operator is equal to plus. So how this works, it is same as if OPR equals to plus. So it is same as writing this. Okay, so if OPR is equal to plus, what am I supposed to do? Then I am supposed to add the two numbers that are given as the input. So I have to take answer is equal to A plus B. Okay, and then I'll break. case minus. That is, if the operator that I have given is same as minus, then what is my answer? It's going to be A minus B. And then give a break. So like this you have to cover all the 5 operators. So you will have 5 cases here. Remember, we are not going to write case 1, 2, 3 or anything. We are going to write case plus, case minus, case star, case slash, like that. So basically it is going to consider this operators, this variable's value should be same as this one whatever we have given here. If these two are equal, then this will be executed and we break. So whenever there is a break statement, it comes to the end of switch statement. Okay, if the operator that you have given is not any of these 5, means you have given a wrong operator which is not an arithmetic operator. Therefore your calculation is impossible to be done because it is wrong. Okay, so give default. What is default case? When none of these cases are matched, then this default case will be executed. So as per this default case, you just write one error message saying that invalid operation or invalid operator, whatever. Okay, invalid operator. And then now there is no need to write break after default because that itself is your last case for switch statement. After coming out of the switch statement, you can display the result using printf. Okay, so using printf we can display the result. Answer is equal to, or you can even write a plus b is equal to the answer. That way also you can write for a more interesting output. Okay, so this is how you use switch statement to write a simple calculator. Now I am going to show it in the editor. So I'll go for new. So program to perform arithmetic operations. And remember, we are giving only simple arithmetic expressions here. Okay, so first we have to include the header file, hash include stdio.h, and then I'll write the main function. Now what all variables I need? A comma b and answer. Only in case of float answer, that is only in case of division, I need float answer. Okay, therefore I am going to use a float variable only for that. Otherwise, see, if I use this answer itself as float variable, then even for addition it's going to give this 0.00 and all that. I don't need it, so I am going to use a separate variable. Only if it is float variable I am going to take this one. Okay, I will take C. And I need one character variable which is the operator variable. Okay, done. So I have declared all the variables, and now I am going to ask the user to enter a simple arithmetic expression. Okay, enter a simple arithmetic expression. Now whatever the user enters, first is going to be an int, next one is going to be a character, third one is also going to be an int, and the first int should be stored in A, the second one is a character which should be stored in OP, and the third one is an int which should be stored in B. Hope you understood. Now we are going to check what is the operator. So I have to use the variable which has operator in it. The variable that has operator stored in it is OP. Okay, switch OP. Now I'll write all the cases one by one. Case plus. If it is plus, then answer is equal to A plus B. Okay, and we will break. Next is case minus. Case minus, answer is equal to A minus B, and again here I'll break, and case star. Answer is equal to A star B, and I'll write break. Case slash colon. answer equals to, okay, so only in case of this division I am going to use the float one. Okay, C is equal to, I am doing explicit typecasting, float of A by B. Now I am going to get the exact result in C. Okay, and now even while printing you have to use that only, case modulus. I think I have already explained this in operators and expressions class. Modulus operator can be used only with integer values. Okay, so answer is equal to A modulus B, and then we'll give break. Okay, default means if it is none of these operators, then we are going to print invalid operation. Invalid operation. Okay, so let us write the outputs here itself, so that we don't have to check again whether it is division or not. Okay, printf. So here there are two ways of writing. I can write sum is equal to %d answer. Like this also I can write, or I can also write, I will write only for this statement. Okay, I can also write printf %d, %c, %d equals to %d. Like this also I can give. So I am going to get the output like this: A plus 3 plus 5 equals to 8. So I am going to get like that. So based on your requirement you can give A, OP, B and answer. I have given C both the types of output only for the first one, just to show you how you can give, that's it, but use any one type of output. Okay, so I will write same thing, I'll copy, because this format I'll give, because I like this format of output. So I'm going to copy paste the same thing here. Okay, this is for A minus B, and this is for A star B. Okay, and this is for A division. So for division what we have to do is we have the answer is a float, right? So we are going to give %.2f so that it is going to display 2 digits after decimal point in the answer, and here the variable is C instead of ANS, and here again it is an integer value only, and I am going to give the same format. Okay, so only for the first one I have given another type of output, just to show you that you can give output like this also. Okay, so these are 5 different operators. For 5 different operators you are performing the operation. In case the operator given is none of these, then you are going to get a default error message saying that it is an invalid operator. So this ends the switch program and switch statement, and that's it. So that's your program to find basic arithmetic operations. So we will save it now. So I will write basic calc.c. Okay, and now we will just first compile the program, and there are no errors. Then we will run it. So here we are supposed to give an expression first. First I'll give some invalid expression. I'll give 3, 4, 5. It is an invalid expression and it's going to give me an error message, and we have to give a space also, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it says invalid operator because the middle value 4 is considered as an operator, but it is not an operator. I have selected 5 operators there. It is not any one of those, so it gives it as invalid operator. Okay, so my invalid thing is working. Now I had given inputs for invalid case. Now I'll give for addition. So I'll give 3 plus 5. Okay, so it says sum is equal to 8 and 3 plus 5 equals to 8, because the first one I had given 2 kind of output messages only for addition. Okay, so now I will give the multiplication, subtraction, everything. I'll give 9 minus 5. Okay, so 9 minus 5 is 4. Now addition and subtraction is done. Now I'll give multiplication, 9 into 3, and I should get 27. Yes, and now I'll again give division. For division I'm going to get proper decimal answer, so I'll give 4 by 3. Okay, so the answer is 1.33. It's going to be a recurring decimal, but since we are displaying only 2 digits after decimal point, it is 1.33 I got. Now we will give this one also, 13 modulus 5. So 13 modulus 5 is 3. So basically it gives the remainder, 13 modulus 5 gives you 3. So all operations is given, and we have got the correct answers for everything. So this is one of the programs. So you can take a screenshot of the program. Done. Remaining part of the program. Take this screenshot also. You can find these programs in the Telegram channel as well. Even if you are joining later, like, you can find all the previously uploaded content also. Right, so this was our first program in which we have calculated some basic arithmetic operations based on the operator that we have given. So the idea of giving two programs is, as I told you, these are character constants. I had a character input and a character variable, and since I am using character variable here, see, OP is a character variable, right? Since I am using character variable here, make sure you are giving character constants in all these cases, and whenever you are giving character constants, you have to enclose it within single quotes. Now our next question is going to be where we are going to give integer constants. Okay, so one more example we will take for switch statement is that we have different operations to perform, and based on the user's choice, appropriate operation will be performed. Say for example, in the switch, when I was explaining how switch statement works, I had mentioned that suppose you want to find area of different geometrical shapes. The formula for each one is different, and the input values required is also different, but the objective of the program is to find area or to find volume, something like that. So if you are finding area of a geometric shapes, first you have to choose for which shape you have to find the area. Once you decide that, then you are supposed to, then the program is supposed to ask you what all inputs are required, and then accordingly the output has to be displayed. So we will write program to find area of various geometric shapes. Okay, for program to find area of various shapes. Now here first it's our wish, so we can write whatever how many ever shapes we want. We can mention that, write printf statements for all of them. So ask the user what is that they want to find. So do they want to find area of triangle, or do they want to find area of rectangle? Okay, or is it square? Okay, or is it a circle? We can write any number of formulas here, but right now, to keep the program simple, I am going to write these 4. Okay, and the logic remains same. How many ever shapes you want to write, the logic remains same. Now for all these areas, first you are going to write printf statement for all these things, and you are going to ask the user to choose one of the options. Now once the user chooses an option, we are going to store it in a variable called option or choice, something we are going to write. Okay, so we are going to write choice or something, anything you can write, because it is basically just a variable which is going to store the user's input. Now suppose the user enters 2, it means he wants to find area of a rectangle. Then the program should ask the user, enter the length and breadth. Suppose the user entered square, then the program should ask the user, enter the side of the square. If the user says that he wants to find area of a circle, then the program should ask, enter the radius. Okay, so based on whatever is the choice, the program should prompt the user to enter appropriate inputs, and using that inputs we have to use the formula and find out the answer and then display. So these are printf statements that we are going to write, and then we will have a switch statement. In switch statement, we will use this variable in which user's choice is stored. Okay, don't use semicolon here. And then now What all inputs are possible from the user? I have given 4 options for the user, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So my cases are also going to be 1, 2, 3 or 4. If the user has entered any choice which is not anything of this 1, 2, 3, 4, then it is an invalid choice. So that is going to be the default case. Okay. So case 1 means the user wants to find area of a rectangle. Then ask the user to enter base and height, and then use the formula and then print and finally give a break. Okay, suppose it is 2, it means the user has to find area of a rectangle, then ask for length and breadth. Okay, so like this you have to ask different inputs based on the user's choice. Accordingly use the formula and display the output. So this we are going to write a program for the same. Now new file. So program to find area of various shapes. Okay, first we will include the header file stdio.h. Now we'll start the main function. Here I'll write all the variables required. So first I'll write float area. For everything I am going to use this variable area, which is going to find the area. Now I need various variables. Say for triangle I need base and height, which is b and 2h, and for area square I need just a side, and for parallelogram I need 2 variables. So I am not going to use so many variables, because what is the name of the variable in this particular case doesn't matter. All we need is either 1 input or 2 inputs, that's all. Okay, in case of triangle, in case of rectangle I need 2 inputs. In case of square and circle I need just 1 input. So I am going to take just 2 variables here. Use these variables only for all types of inputs. Okay, so I need basically 3 variables, 2 variables for input, 1 variable to store your answer, which is the area of the shape that is chosen, and 1 variable I need for choice, storing choice of the user. Now we have to give all the options to the user. Area of a triangle. Okay. Next, I'll just copy paste this. So we have 4 shapes. Okay. So for 2 I'll give area of rectangle. Okay, and for third one it is area of a square, and the fourth one is area of circle. Okay, so these are the 4 options that I am giving for the user to enter, and then printf enter your choice. Now the user is going to give one input, and that input is going to be stored in the variable called choice. Now based on this choice we are going to ask different inputs from the user. Okay, so now this is used in switch statement, this variable. If the user has entered 1, it means he wants to find the area of triangle. So now ask the user to enter base and height of the triangle. Okay, whatever the user enters, store it in. So 2 inputs the user is going to enter, store that in A and B. Now what is area of triangle? It is half into base into height. And to make sure you get exact float answer, either you can do typecasting or use any one of the values of, anyways you are writing 1 by 2, one of them you can write it as a float. Okay, so 1 by 2.0, or just write 0.5. 1 by 2 is 0.5, so I'll write 0.5 into A into B. Whatever inputs you have given multiplied into 0.5 is going to be your area. So area of the triangle is equal to percentage point 2f. I think you know what is percentage point 2f. If you just give percentage f, it is going to display 6 digits after decimal point, and sometimes you get 6 zeros after decimal point, which is not required. And in all the calculations, we usually talk about 2 digits after decimal point, right? So if you give percentage 0.2f, you are going to get 2 digits after decimal point. If you give percentage 0.3f, you are going to get 3 digits after decimal point. So after point, if you are going to give something after dot, it means that you need that many digits in this float answer. But you can't give more than 6, because by default, system can store only 6 digits in a float variable. Okay, and it is area. Bake. Okay, so this is case 1. Similarly, we'll write case 2. For case 2, we are going to ask the user to enter. It's a rectangle. So we'll ask the user to enter length and breadth of the rectangle. User is going to enter it, and the same instructions will be there for this also. So I'll just directly write it. Okay, and here the formula is going to be different. The formula is just product of A and B. Here we will write area of rectangle is equal to percentage point 2f. Okay, so that is for case 2. Next we'll write case 3. For case 3, it is basically area of square, and we need I'll just copy paste this entire thing here. So we just need one side of the square, right? So we'll just write one input here, enter side of the square. Okay, and we just need one input, so I am going to remove one variable here and one percentage d here. So whatever user enters, it is going to be stored in A, and the formula is A star A. Okay, A star A, and here we will display that area of the square. Area of the square is equal to percentage point 2f. Okay, this is for square. Next we will write the last one, which is the circle. Okay, now for this, for circle, we need the radius, right? Enter radius of the circle, and again, since it is only one input, I am going to have only one variable. The other variable I'll remove, and the formula for this is so here area of a circle is pi r square, and we will write 3.14, which is the value of pi, into A into A. So this is pi r square, and let's display that as well, area of circle, which is this one. Suppose the user entered something else apart from this 1 to 4, then we are going to display an error message, invalid choice. Okay, invalid choice, right? So this completes the program. So we'll just execute it. We'll first save it, compile, and then execute. area1.c. I'll compile this. There is an error message here. What is it? Okay, there is no semicolon. Okay, we'll compile. Okay, no errors, and then we'll run. Yeah, so now I have got it like a menu option. All the areas, it is been showing all the geometric shapes that I have mentioned, and we are supposed to enter one of the choices here. So whatever we want to calculate. So I'll give area of a triangle 1. So it's going to ask base and height of the triangle. I'll give 3 and 4. So half into 3 into 4 is going to be 6. So area of the triangle is 6. And similarly, we can check all the other inputs here. Everything is going to work fine. So the second one is area of rectangle. Again, I'll give 3 and 4. Area is going to be 12. Okay, right. Now we will give area of square, which is option 3. Area of square, I'll give 5. Side of the square is 5. So area is going to be 25. You can even display units if required. Just in the printf statement, you have to mention square units. That's it. And fourth option is radius of the circle. I'll give 5, and it is going to display 3.14 into square of the value given. Okay, and in case I give an option which is not any of these 1 2 3 4, say I'll give option 5, it says invalid choice. So that's for switch example. So we have seen two programs examples for switch. So what is the purpose of these two examples? The first one is the one in which we have given character constants, and in the second one I have given integer constants. If it is integer constant, based on whatever is the input values here, accordingly I have to give the case values. Okay, and in case of character constants also I have to give single quotes here, and accordingly the instructions must be mentioned. So these are the two examples. Basically when you will use switch is most of the times if for you will use if else statements, and when you have to use switch is in such cases where you have a menu option. So basically if you observe in all the data structure programs, so if you're also attending data structure class, you will know in all data structure programs like stacks, queues, trees and all that, you will have various operations to perform like insertion, deletion, searching for a key, delete an element in the beginning of the list, deleting an element in the end of the list. Like that you have various options. The user is going to enter what is the operation he has to perform. Accordingly the program should take the input from the user and then perform the respective operation. So whenever there are different operations available, whenever there are different calculations available, we will first display all these things, and then we will ask the user what is that they need to find. Accordingly we are going to write all these cases, and we will write the respective instructions. So these are the two examples for switch statements. Let me know if you have any doubts. Do you have any doubts? Please let me know. Okay, so in case you have any doubts, you can just mention it in the comment section. So I will even reply later. And make sure you're joining the Telegram channel to get all these programs. And I will also be recommending certain books in the description. So in case you want to buy the books, you can buy it through those links, and you will not be paying anything extra, and we will be getting the very small amount as a referral amount. Okay, so make sure attend all the classes, and if you have any other friends also who are trying to learn these subjects, it can be your seniors or juniors who are preparing for placements also, I recommend you to share all these videos with them. And there are certain topics which you might think that you know already, but during the program explanation, during the class, I'm giving you certain small instructions which you might not know. Like I don't know how many of you know that we can give input in various formats, like date input can be taken in various formats. So such things, and there are small things that are considered when you go for a placement interview. They expect you to know completely in depth. So when I'm explaining a particular concept, it is not just the program I'm giving you. So that is the reason all these programs I have it with me, but I don't show you the readily available program and explain that. I don't do that. I usually keep on explaining and I'm typing the program. So just to make sure that you will all know the process. So you have to just keep thinking for yourself, and whatever thoughts are there in your mind, same thing you have to just convert it, translate it into C language instructions. That's it. So once you get the idea, once you get hold of the idea of how to convert your thoughts, the thought process into instructions, it becomes very easy for you to write all the lengthy programs. Okay, make sure you learn this C in depth clearly, so that your data structure programs becomes very easy for you to understand. Okay, in the next class I'll be explaining about the loops, while, do while and for loop, how to use them, what are the differences between each of the loops, and how to decide when to use which one. Okay, so those clarities will be given, and after that you will have example programs for loops, and then we will have more complicated programs, because most of the programs uses if else statements, switch statements within a loop, and inside loop you will have switch statement, or inside switch statement you will have a loop. So when you know loops also, your programs become little more complicated. So right now whatever programs we have done so far are actually very simple. So once we learn loops, then you will have certain advanced programs also. Okay, fine. See you all in the next class. Bye bye.